In this video, I'm going to teach you how to play Warmness on the Soul by Avenged Sevenfold. This tutorial is for an advanced song, so I'm going to be moving pretty quickly in order to cover everything. I've also removed the piano solo at the end and replaced it with the guitar solo. If there's enough interest, I might add the piano solo in a supplementary video later. Before we begin, first take your left pinky, thumb, and index finger and position them like so, starting with your pinky on the first note, your index finger on the second note, a fifth up, and your thumb an octave up. Here, for example, I have my pinky on C, my index finger on G, and my thumb on the C an octave up. Learn to keep your hand in this position because, for simplicity's sake, it stays like that throughout the song. I'll refer to the chords solely by their first note. In this example, I'll call this C. Alright, so let's start with the intro, which sounds like this. The left hand commences the song with a dramatic octave on low E. The right hand moves down the keys for a bit before the left hand jumps up to play C, G, C. The left hand plays 3 notes a total of 6 times. It's always a note, a fifth above the note, and then an octave above the note, as I pointed out before. So follow me and count it out, starting on C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then down to G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down to D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to E. Then to C, G, and D. That pattern recurs throughout the song, so memorize it. E, C, G, D. That's the entirety of the left hand for the intro, so let's move on to the right hand, which takes a bit more skill. Start with your thumb and pinky on B and G. Then move your hand down the keys like so. F sharp, E, B, G, F sharp, and then E and G. This marks the beginning of a series of thirds moving down. So E, G, C, C and E, B, D, A, C, B, D, G, G, B, F sharp A, E, G, F sharp and A. Like so. See how that works? Scale up from D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, then B and E, B, E, G, F sharp, E, C, E, G, G, C, E, G, B, D, A, C, B, D, and then you play G, A, B, A, G, D, G, F sharp, and D, and then a cadence of D major, A, D, and F sharp, E, D, B, E, G, and the verse begins. Let's go back from the scaling from D. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, B and E, now let's combine the hands. For the first verse, the left hand proceeds with largely the same pattern of E, C, G, and D. You repeat that 4 times before going down to C, D, and then descending down from G, F sharp, E, D, and C for the lyric and subsequent interlude after "And in you I confide." Tap D, and dramatically play octaves of low G, F sharp, and E. So let's try that now. two parts. The first part has 4 chords to play corresponding with the 4 chords on the left hand. You start with B, E, and G, followed by C, E, G, which is C major, B, D, and G, and finally A, D, and F sharp. You put that with the left hand chords like so. And you can connect the chords with little flourishes, like so. The second part of the verse hops up to hit D, F sharp, and B 3 times, and then to an octave fifth of E, followed by a cadence of C, G, C, and E, a G major chord, a random A, D, and G, which goes back to trigger the same 3 chords of E, G, C, E, and G major. Like this. But the second time, instead of playing the A, D, and G, you hit a cadence of D, F sharp, A, and D for the lyric "and in you I." For confide, hit G, F sharp, E, G, A, B, D major, G, F sharp, and while the left hand moves down from G, hit D, G, B with the right hand. Once the left hand hits D, the right hand plays a combination of D with A, G, F sharp, and then C major, like this, C, E, G. Then, just before the left hand taps the low D, the right hand hits A, and then with the low D, the right hand hits D and F sharp, like so. So let's play the first verse in its entirety. The second verse sounds largely the same, but it's a little more complicated. You play the same chords, but there's more to them. For example, with the first chord, B, E, G, you hit it once, and then play each note in the chord individually, followed by F sharp, E, D, and E, like so. The second part is very much the same for the first few chords, except when you get to the second G major chord. Instead of going down to the D major cadence as before, you reach up and add a high G to the G major, like this. This is the line, "Your love's always been true as can be." Play it twice, and then move the G down to F sharp, and revert the rest of the chord back to A, D, and F sharp. So let's play the second verse all the way through now. The left hand goes from C to D to E, and then back down again. Then D for the line, nothing can compare in this world to you. You'll play the familiar G, F sharp, E, D, C, and D. That's simple enough, so let's move on to the right hand, which largely plays the melody. Start with E and G, move down to D and F sharp, E, D, B and E. That's I Give My Heart to You. I give my heart to you. Then immediately jump up to play an octave fifth of E as before, and then even higher to play E, D, E, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp, and E. It's just a D major fifth. And then you head back down to the same E, G for I Give My Heart. But for Nothing Can Compare in This World to You, extend your hand up to hit an octave of D with a B in the middle. Alternate between the B and the D with the lyrics, and twirl down to A, G, and B, and then D major at the end. That's the chorus, so let's play it through now. The guitar solo commences immediately after the chorus, so get your right hand ready to chime in as soon as your left hand goes down to play the G, F sharp, and E. It sounds like this. The left hand is fairly random, so just memorize this chord progression. G, F sharp, E, D, C, E, D, C, G, D, C, D, G, F sharp, E, D, C, D. I've divided the right hand into 3 parts. The first part starts on a high D as the left hand goes down from G. D, E, G, A, G, A, G, F sharp, E, D, D, B, C, E. Once again. D, E, G, A, G, A, G, F sharp, E, D, D, B, C, E. The second part is reminiscent of the intro. E, G, A, B, staccato D, E, B, E, G, A, B, staccato D, E, B, G and C 3 times, G and D, G and E twice, G, D, C, B, B, C, B, A, and finally the third part. High A, D, C, D, E, E, D, C, D, D, G, F sharp, D, G, F sharp, D, A, G, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, E, 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 F sharp, G, F sharp. You already know the rest of the song. You play the second verse again, followed by the chorus. The only thing left is the little flourish at the end, which I play like this. This looks daunting, but it's really simple. The left hand just plays a low octave of E, while the right hand plays B, E, G, and B in ascending order until I can end on the uppermost E. And that's just a matter of practice. That's my tutorial. Thanks for watching.